Excuse me. Welcome to the start of another, yes, another new anime review series. You're probably all thinking like, Nick, this is like the fifth one you've done in a week you started. Well, two of them basically already started and they aired one episode. This is the third bench watching one because I read the manga for this one. Like in the case of the last time I finished up, which was Am I Actually Talking About That one? I really enjoyed that one. This one is interesting to say the least. This is called Beginning After the End. So we start off with, this is one of those isekai type of series, but not in traditional sense per se. As for what era this world is set in, the previous world, not really sure. We start off with the main character of the series, who is this ruthless king, who think he's powerful. At one point, he summoned a bunch of Air Force jets to bomb a village. And we hear all the screaming from the village. Proves the fact he was a ruthless king. What is the name of this king? King Gray. Oh, by the way, the show, the studio makes this is Studio ACAT. Which, this is surprisingly the third anime I've come across with him working on anime for it. Yeah, the last one was the strongest magician in a Demon Lord's army was a human. That was one of them. And the other one is, I've somehow gotten stronger when I improved my farming related skills. This is kind of weird related to them. They didn't release any anime in 2023, but they released 2 last year. Oh yeah, definitely. And can you believe the studio who made this only started back in 1996? And the first show they worked on was a show I did partially watch, Transformers Energon. You're like, really? They work on a series that was released in the US? Yes. By the way, King Gray himself is voiced by Christopher Willicamp. Eraserhead, of course. So, yeah. So he eventually just apparently just ups and dies. Gets to born his baby, of course he does, and reduced to his parents, Reynolds and Alice. Reynolds is voiced by, I know he calls himself J.C. James. I'm gonna continue calling him by his actual name, Josh Grell. Yes. Because, of course, for some weird reason, 2 months after, I keep bringing this up, 2 months after I met this man, he decided to out himself as non-binary. Or, excuse me, transgender. I don't know why he did this for, but he did. And his mom is voiced by the awesome Colleen Clickenbeard in the 34th series I've checked, basically, I've seen with her in it. Yeah, 34th. The last one, believe it or not, for bench watching, the last original I watched her in was the Ron when he used healing magic. You're like, really? Yeah, really. You're like, that's interesting. Yeah, it is. So, basically, it's like they're basically this couple who lives out in the countryside, which is like, wait, this sounds a lot like Mushoku Tensei. Except that the father is not basically a guy who cheats on his wife with his maid. And he's not a noble. He's an adventurer. Well, and plus also his wife can get very angry at him. Colleen's very good at voicing angry women. Though I think this actually is the second time she's played the mother of a character of a series I've watched. She also did this for Love Tyrant, where she voiced, I believe it was the mother of one of the female leads of that one. In the case of this one, she's voicing the mother of the main character. Which I do point out about him as, well, basically at this point he is Arthur. Arthur Lewin. Who's apparently, they don't have a voice yet. It's not until he's like about 2 or actually about 3-ish. He's voiced by Amber May, because a lot of time you hear Chris Willicamp voice in this thing. So, you have him as a baby, and at first he does not know what the heck is going on. at all. It takes a bit of time to understand. Eventually, he does discover that, oh, there's actually magic in this world. Oh, and the thing with the mother, they do explain in episode 2 that she is a healer, but apparently healing out in the open is not a good idea because you can get targeted. That's interesting because generally put in any anime I've seen, this is not the case. Anime healers are not targeted. Like, it's not, they don't describe it as taboo. It's just that they just don't do it out in the open. Other series is not an issue. Apparently here it's an issue. Now, that is original right there. So, heals up the father from an injury. Eventually, they see over time where he's studying books. And he gets a little angry. He gets just 2 books if he's with nap time. He goes to a town with his mom. Eventually, he starts to show off the learns magic. At the age of, barely age of 3, he basically he basically meditates by trying to strengthen his monic core, indirectly destroying part of the house. They do show in a flashback about who helped rebuild the house later. So, Adventure 4, despite the fact the father did say he was going to teach him basically stuff about magic and fighting skills, there's nothing else he can teach him. He needs an actual teacher, so they contact him from a party, the Twin Horns. The names are Jasmine, very beautiful woman she is, Darren Walker, Adam Crush, Angela Rose, and Helen Shard. Now I'm going to try to find out who actually is the voice of these characters. Here we go. So I revealed who actually voices the lead and his parents. But what about the party? Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, Durden Walker is voiced by Chris George. Okay. Jasmine Flamesworth. Let's see if I can find basically who does her voice. No credit for her for some reason. Let's see. Adam. Still, I'm not finding anything. Okay, so Helen Shard, who is one of the party members, she is voiced by Aaron Kelly Noble. Adam Kirsch is voiced by Nick Haber. But what about Jasmine? Weird. No credit for her dub actor is. Because she's the one who basically takes a liking to when they meet with the community teacher, so. Okay, she's voiced by apparently Sarah Winehoff. So they basically show some skills per se, and that's when they show the whole thing of the taboo related to, well, actually the whole thing of you can't exactly heal out in the open. That's why they have everybody just basically stand guard. Yeah, and then the next day, well, apparently Arthur does see something going on with his mom. He finds out later on she's actually pregnant with her second child. So then they're on the way to some town, wherever they're going to go, and then they're attacked by bandits who want to kill the guys and have the women and the child, they know the kid's name, possibly sold into slavery. And it held up pretty well. Arthur is told to protect his mom from his own father. And he does protect her. Yes, and then he falls off a cliffside toward the episode 2. And then he comes across what appears to be a steel dragon who does know who he is for some reason. But who this is, we'll find out next episode. Yep. Really interesting first 2 episodes. It's interesting so far. Not terrible, but I'm gonna continue watching the series. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up is a Comic Corner. Okay, next video. Bye.